Welcome, everybody. My name is Bobby Smith. I am the field president with Powur, and buenos noches to all. And we hope this evening finds you well. This is a very special evening for us. Again, I put on a collared shirt for tonight. What we're going to share with you, we're 96 hours away, I think, less, from an event that will change, we believe, the course of solar in the United States of America. And there's no narrative under what we're about to do, again, will not only change solar, but we believe renewable energy. And our company, as you're going to hear about tonight, is changed the game, fundamentally changed the game. And we're just really excited. We're working around the clock, and we'll talk to you a little bit more about what's happening as we go here tonight. But we're going to talk about our company and our model and how we change the solar industry. And we're going to give you every reason under the sun to join our company tonight. That's what tonight is about. It's for our guests. Tonight, a little special because we're going to give you a sneak peek of this event that we're going to do starting Thursday night. Every great company has a brilliant mind behind it. Ours is Jonathan Budd. You can Google anybody we talk about tonight who built a fortune in his 20s. And he was summoned to the rainforest by Jim Bunch, who you'll meet in a short while. Both San Diego entrepreneurs. Jim sits on the Green Chamber of Commerce. Jonathan had a vision for a better, cleaner world for his children and for yours. Put up $1 million of his own money to start this public benefit corporation called Powur. And every great company not only has, great executives. Our board has raised billions of dollars in venture capital. Dean Rosenberg just came over as CEO. His last company sold for, I believe, $30 million. And we really brought on the best from finance, from operations, customer support, you name it. And we've just put together an extraordinary management team. And that's what you need if you're going to scale $1 billion company. We will go public. That's our goal in the third quarter of next year. We believe this will be $1 billion IPO, and we're going to share with you why. We've worked with so one of the things I try and do over the course of these presentations is erase any doubts or question marks you have, because there's no questions that can't be answered, right? We started with the largest solar company in the world, Solar City and Tesla. They were our first client, and we realized we couldn't scale with them. I have 80 of their panels on my home. And then we signed contracts with 100 of the top solar companies in the United States, which means we've been vetted by over 100 of the largest solar companies in the United States. They thought we were a good idea. Maybe you should too. We went online to test the crowd, see how the world felt about us. And at that point, in a private crowd fundraise, we raised more money than any company in the history of the world, over 1.4 million in a few weeks, and 5,000 people paid to join our company. And we have 500 to 600 solar and sales professionals leaving what they're doing or adding this to what they're doing every single month. Think about that. How many solar companies bring on 500 to 600 new solar professionals a month? And what changed the game for us not long ago was when we introduced the only completely transparent revenue share model in the solar industry today, which means we're going to show you the money, and we're going to pay you more money than anybody in the solar industry. And we're going to add stock options on top of that. And there's proof to what we're doing. In our weekly newsletters, we show the people that are earning 7 figures in Powur. We show all the people that are making 6 figures in our company. We show the lives they're changing in our company. And we've built a culture. People dig what we're doing. We're friends. And as a public benefit corporation, one of the most important things to us, which we'll never go away from, is our core values. We do get shit done. We're a badass company. But at the same time, and you'll learn more about this as we go on, we serve the community. We serve man and womankind. If it's not good for the environment, if it's not good for our children and yours, we simply won't do it. It doesn't matter how much money's involved. And we think that's important, certainly in the world that we're living in today. You have to stand for something. And with all due respect to the other solar companies out there, we just do it better. We offset 100% of the emissions. Anything that contributes to the emissions in the world, whether it's driving the truck to put the panels on or the manufacturing of same, we're going to offset that planting trees around the world. This weekend, you're going to hear from the Pachamama Alliance, which is the very foundation of our company. And we're going to bring people into a ceremony called Awaken the Dreamer, which will take their lives on a different course. The father of renewable energy said that if you want to change things, don't fight the existing reality, build a new model that makes the old model obsolete. And that's what we've done. In the solar industry, if the solar industry was working, it would be working. America would have solar, and they don't. No one does. So we've built a better model, and you'll hear about the other models and why this just makes so much sense. And from a pure economic standpoint, just remember, because we're the fastest growing solar company in the world, scaling up the Inc. 5,000 list, we believe we'll be on the Inc. 100 list as a $100 million company from last year. But the most important person in this value chain, after the customer, of course, is you. If you're going to start with us on a part-time basis or leave your solar company and put your eggs in this basket, then you have got to make more money than anywhere else. We've got to give you more training, more value, more stock, more everything than anybody else could possibly give you. And you'll learn, again, from a pure economic standpoint, why that makes so much sense. Most people take jobs for solar companies because they want bad leads that are being sold to 15 different other companies. And they may cut a deal, but the commissions are going to be smaller. There's really no support. There's no passive or residual income. There's no equity in it. And there's nothing scalable about it. It's typically just slapping panels on roofs and let's go get the next roof. In the new model, in our model, you sell for yourself. You'll make more money than if you owned your own solar company. We're going to pay you more money than anybody in the industry. We're going to train every day in multiple languages. And you'll meet a gentleman in a moment who's building a multiple six-figure income, which I believe will be a seven-figure passive override income in addition to what you do, what you sell. And equity. I don't know if you've ever been in front of an IPO, but this is a very special time for our company. One of the reasons we're so excited. And we're a tech company. We hired data scientists. Do you know any other solar companies that hire data scientists? And we were investing $100,000 a month building proprietary software that no one else has, because that's what you need to do if you want to change the game. And that's what we're doing. We're changing the game. So my favorite part of this is just the obvious, because I'm a pretty simple guy, right? If you draw a circle around your life today, the way you communicate, the way you travel, transportation, retail, workout, everything, right? We're not calling a taxi cab anymore. It's Uber or Lyft. We're staying at an Airbnb. EXP is now the third largest real estate company in the United States. Amazon is at my doorstep every day. We're shopping at Costco. We are working out via Peloton and the other online applications. If everything else in our daily lives, nothing fancy, travel, transportation, communication, food and groceries, wholesale, workout, everything has gone to an online platform, then what logical thinking entrepreneur could make the argument that the same thing is not going to happen in solar? And there's no one else in our lane. Will there be some copycats out there? Of course, but they can't catch us like Amazon. We got there first and we built a better mousetrap. If you connect the dots, if in fact renewable energy is the greatest and most important shift of wealth in the history of man and womankind, and if in fact we know that an online platform is going to change the game, and if in fact Powur is established itself, which we have, as the leading online platform for solar and renewable energy in the world, then just think about it. The outcome is obvious. And for anybody out there who might be thinking, or the solar pro or the non-solar pro, well, who believes in these guys? Well, just every single major energy company in the United States. This event that we're going to put on this weekend that no one in the world has ever done, who is it backed by? Every major solar company, finance company, panel manufacturer, inverter manufacturer, battery manufacturer, everyone wants to be a part of the Powur model because we are changing the game. And tonight is a very special night and a very special week. So again, I come from medical education, and I started and ran a national nonprofit cancer foundation. I found out about Powur on Facebook, via Facebook. The next gentleman is the antithesis of that. He is a 20-year energy professional. He has owned, ran, and built solar companies, energy companies. This is what he has done, where he's made his living. I know him as a guy who served our country. I know him as a best friend. I know him as a very happy man right now who found the love of his life. I know him as a gentleman who's leading the charge for our company every day out there in the field. He's built way past what will be a seven-figure income in our company. It's the way he does it, though, that's really so impressive, with elegance and style and support and training and just a love of what he does every day. So I get the pleasure of getting a chance to work with him every day. So I am 100% on the corporate side. Charles is 100% like you if you join our company, a commissionable representative, selling solar, doing the two things we do, selling solar and building a team of people, if you like, to sell solar as well. I give you the happy man, Mr. Charles Thompson. Charles?
Thank you, Mr. Smith. Much appreciated. Always enjoyed doing these events with you. I really want to, again, thank you not only for what you do here, but the personal mentorship you provided me over the last nearly 7 years that we've worked together. For each of you who are looking at this, wondering, what is this industry all about? I want to take and just kind of peel back the layers just briefly and walk through the scope, the magnitude of the opportunity. There's 130 million single family residences. That is our core business. We focus on residential only. 130 million that are plugged into the dirty energy grid. Of those, 90 million are eligible for solar in the way that we do solar. But only about 3 million homes have made the transition. So if you think about that, you're looking at a roughly 2.5, 3, depends how you get your numbers, 3% market share. So it's an untapped industry as we know it today. And what's really making this grow is what happened just a few years ago, and that's zero down solar, where the homeowner can go solar with absolutely nothing out of pocket. They save money every single month on their electric bills. They come out of pocket nothing. They save money in the energy bill. They increase the value of their home between 4 and 6%. Now they have an asset on their roof as opposed to the liability payment that they're paying to monopolize utility. The beauty of that, in addition to the value that it adds, is it locks in the cost of their energy. So they don't have to worry about that ongoing increased cost of a kilowatt hour of energy, which doubles every 10 to 12 years. That's avoided at that point. And the real beauty is much like with a home. When you rent a home, you never have a payoff. You're always going to pay rent. You're always going to pay rent. When you own a home, you own the home. Well, with solar, rather than renting energy, when you own your solar plant on your roof or your backyard, you own it. And once you pay it off, you're going to produce energy for potentially decades at no cost for that energy. That gives control and predictability to the homeowner. What we get access to as consultants is what's referred to as a cost of goods. And the best way to compare that, because it's a new term, is to look at wholesale versus retail. Any product that you purchase out there, somebody starts it and gives a wholesale cost to distribution or retail or whatever the case may be. Look at it that way. So don't worry about these terms, kilowatts and all that. Just look at the dollars that go along with that. Our baseline cost of goods on average, sometimes it's lower, in many cases it's lower, sometimes it's slightly higher. So we're using an average. In this particular case, if you took this example, a 10,000 watt system, 10 kW, sold for $35,000, the cost, that's all the cost that it took to get the racking, the equipment, the installation, everything involved to get the panels on the roof. And then there were some additional costs, financing, maybe some electrical work. This one had a main panel upgrade and financing, very common. The net revenue in the project was $10,500. If you're working for a traditional solar company, our competitors, typically 20 to 30% of that net revenue is going to be what you get paid commission-wise. Well, Powur looked at this and said, we're going to be 100% transparent and show what the true cost of goods is and really add value to the consultants, the most important person in the food chain. And what they did is they said, we're going to give 70% of the revenue to the consultant who created that sale. And we're only going to keep 30%, but out of our 30%, we're going to give half of that back. And I'll walk you through that. But if you look at the most important person, you, the seller, this particular transaction would normally be what the company would keep. But in this case, it's given to you for having created the lead, the contract, all the value, the most important person in the food chain. Well, what's beautiful is Powur then says a lot of people are going to want to be part of this mission, this vision. And they took effectively the other half of, so their 30%, they took half of that and gave it back to us and said, go build. So rather than hiring VPs and senior VPs and regional managers and all the fat that typically exists in the corporate American lifestyle, Powur said, here's revenue. If you build a team, we're going to give you half of our revenue. So it doesn't impact your commissionable revenue. It comes out of Powur's revenue. So effectively, Powur's really only taking 15% or keeping 15%. They don't take, they give to us. So it's an 85-15. There's very few companies that could possibly survive on less than 50%. In this case, Powur's surviving and profiting on 15%. So if you look at that, there's $1,575 more in the equation for the people who want to build a team. There's no requirement to do that. There's great benefits to doing that. Bobby shared a little bit about the fact that I have a lifestyle that I dreamed of years and years and years ago by just building a team. I still continue to sell solar. I coach others to do the same. And that's all we ask you to do. We do two things. We sell solar. We then help other people do the same. And whatever level you want to take that to in terms of growth, that's totally up to you. There's no requirement to do that. And if you compare that, it's really very similar to the real estate industry, right? Where a real estate office has or could be virtual, like EXP and Keller Williams, very, very similar. One operates on revenue share, one operates on profit share. And there's a commission for selling the real estate, and there's commissions or revenue that's available to people who build a team. It's the very same concept. Prudential Insurance and Aflac Insurance have done the very same thing. So if you look at the total margin out of a $10,500 margin, almost 9,000 of that goes back into the field where everything happens. You just don't hear of that, and it's particularly in this industry. The other thing that Powur did, which I believe is brilliant, they allowed people who are brand new to the industry, because that really is a wonderful thing. We're taking people without having been overeducated on closing people on solar. We're showing how to educate people on the benefits of going solar. And while you go through the training, you're working with a mentor. There's about 300 and so mentors in our platform today. You can choose whoever you wish. Generally, it's going to be within whoever enrolled you or within your organizational leadership team, but you can choose anyone. If there's a cultural, if there's a location, there's whatever the case may be, then you can choose. And what you do is you actually split the commission 50-50 on your first 3 contracts. If you're a solo pro, it's on your first contract, just so you don't make the mistakes and skin your shins and stub your toe. I've had people work with mentors on 10 projects because they see the value of doing that. So what you do is you tap into our mentor network, closers, trainers, and your commission on the rev share on a split is typically more than you would get on a full commission working for a traditional solar company. Powur recognized the value in the platform, the value in the mentorship, and they wanted to reward both of the most important people, the people who are bringing the lead to the table, learning how to sell, and the people who are professionally trained and educated on how to mentor others to do the same. It's a game changer for the industry. In addition to that, Powur has equity, and this is a potentially generational change in wealth. If you look at EXP stock, what's happened with them? And there was a lot of doubters about EXP back in the day, and that's just a rocket ship. I see us heading in that same direction. You get, when you first install, 25 options. If you referred a consultant to use the platform, that consultant's going to get 25 options. You're going to get, it's actually rounded to 13 overriding options as well, the incentive for enrolling people in the organization. And you hit some pretty basic targets of 25 installs in a calendar year. You get 250 options. You have 50 installs in a calendar year. That's 1,250 options. And since you're part of Powur before Powur goes public, then you're going to be able to purchase discounted options when Powur does go public. Context of that, I ran 2 of the nation's largest energy companies when they moved into the solar industry on rooftop solar. One was worth $14 billion. One was worth $17 billion. There's another company that was later rescued by Tesla, who burned through about $6 billion. So collectively, you're looking at well over $30 billion in muscle that was out there that could not figure out how to do what Powur figured out. They could not figure out how to scale and be profitable at the same time. Jonathan Budd put $1 million into the company. Over a period of time, raised about $10 million from others, friends, family, crowdfunding. And a couple of years ago, figured out the model and rocket ship to Inc. 1000 fastest growing company, probably going to be an Inc. 100 fastest growing company based upon 2020 revenues when a lot of companies went out of business. Powur didn't, they accelerated growth. What is that going to mean when Powur goes public? I don't know. I think there's a lot to say that there's not been a better model out there. And I think it's going to be pretty exciting about what that return is going to be for each of us who are part of this early phase of the adoption of this incredible platform. This is our map that you can find or share. Anything that's what we can call that yellow or orange on your screen, that's where Powur is already licensed as the general contractor. They own the relationship with the customer from the lead all the way to what they call glass on the roof, where the solar is installed and the utility turns it on. In the blue markets, we work with partners in those markets. Every single market that you see in blue, we've already applied for licensing, will be the general contractor probably within the early second quarter of 2021. So coming soon, and then have applied for licensing in 10 additional states. So you're going to see Powur go back into the growth mode over the coming 3 to 9 months. So by the end of 2021. And then as Bobby mentioned, we're going international. We're going back to massive growth after we've nailed this general contractor model. And that's what really for us is important, because it gives a better overall experience to the homeowner, more continuity in the platform, and it provides more compensation because we're cutting out a lot of the middle fat. And that's what Powur has done. And when I started with Powur, that same system that we showed you would have cost about $23,000 to get installed, but it now costs $17,000 to get installed. The amazing thing about that is every time that price went down, all that meant is I made more money, and everybody who's part of Powur has done the exact same thing. Technology that Bobby mentioned, incredible. It is a real-time dynamic proposal. So basically all you have to do is put in a few bits of information: name, address, phone number, email address, tell us a little bit about the homeowner, upload an electric bill, and within typically 30 minutes, you get back a dynamic proposal. And you, as a mentee in learning, you work with a mentor to walk you through how to use it. If you already know solar, then you're going to find that you can literally edit that dynamic proposal without having any design experiences. I'll show you a couple of examples of that in a moment. You can request credit approval, installation, loan docs, everything directly from the one link. You don't have to call anybody, text anybody, email anybody. The platform manages all of the relations. We have scaled our operation team. I don't even know how many fold it is. We got more than 70 project managers in Powur. When I first launched it with this model, we had 5. So it just gives you some idea of how much we have grown and the leadership that has come aboard. We trust them. I trust them completely to handle the projects. We get paid daily for any personal business that we've generated. And if you are building a team of any size, we get paid weekly. That's Friday mailbox money. Passive income for many people in the company now is many people, 6-figure passive income, and blessed to be approaching, if not already exceeded 7-figure. That's over $1 million a year in passive income. And you may say, well, you've been doing this. We've been doing it for 2 years. And we're really just getting into momentum. This is the time to get involved with Powur. Now that a lot of the pain, because growing a company and scaling a company is not easy. It's actually quite complicated and painful for some, but the rewards of that we're starting to see, and then you're able to participate in that as well. This is just a couple quick screenshots of proposals that we do. Everything here in red is where you just click on it and you remove that panel. So the red is X'd out. Everything in green means it's good to go. You set the system to the size and the location of the panels that are desirable to the homeowner, save it, and then you move on and select what panels you want to use. You get to see all of your costs that are associated. And man, there's some exciting news coming up at our upcoming convention that Bobby's been alluding to that I'm just blown away by. Again, all the benefits seem to come back to us consultants as Powur continues to crowdsource. And as Powur grows this model, all of these cost structures continue to drop. And we get 70% of the benefit when it does drop. So you select what panels you want to use. You work with a mentor. You select whether you want what kind of warranty and any electrical work, anything that you feel that project needs for it to be perfect for your homeowner, all at the click of a button. It's really super simple. You select the lending options. We have a wide array of options and some new products that are coming out that no one else has been offering in the industry because of lenders really wanting to work with Powur. You'll hear more about that in the coming days. Then you get the final commission sheet, 100% transparently down to the penny of what it costs for all of the products that were the wholesale cost to the retail. And it shows you exactly what you're getting paid. This is seamless and as transparent as anything that I have ever found. I've never found a solar company in this industry that ever was as transparent as the Powur platform is. With that, the last slide here before we do a recap is just kind of walk through the commissions, just to make sure that we're all on the same page. And it's a 70-30 split. But again, keep in mind, out of Powur's 30%, they put half of that back. So it's really effectively an 85-15 split. That's through that revenue share, the equity ownership that I referred to. And it's a business in a box. I mean, I had my own solar company. I rolled it into the Powur platform, took away all my headaches of insurance and liabilities and the challenges that go along with managing things, gave it all the platform. And I paid we pay $99 one time to get onboarded with the platform, $49 a month to access technology that is way beyond anything that you're going to find in the industry today. I'm excited about the fact that I see us growing to 10,000 active subscribers. And I can only imagine what the technology is going to do then. It's already amazing. It's only going to get better and better. That's kind of the Costco model, right? They don't make money on it, but that technology cost allows us to continue to develop the technology. Powur operating on a very small margin. You want Powur to be profitable because obviously you have stock in the company. That's how we make sure that the cost of developing all that technology, hundreds of thousands of dollars on a monthly basis, is what we need in the field. And it's covered by us, of course. So with that, there are two audiences listening this evening. There's those who are listening live and those who are listening to a recorded version of this. I'm going to stop the recording in a moment so we can move to the second phase of our conversation this evening. If you're listening to the recording, get back to whoever sent you this link, get whatever questions you have answered, and jump on this train. And hopefully you can get to this video before the convention that we've been alluding to. We don't want to get all historic here, but you're going to find it is going to be an industry changing event. So with that, let me stop the recording. We'll stop screen share and we'll